48 different states from which to choose, each with its own particular beauty and charm. Down where the blue Atlantic rolls against warm white sands and palm-fringed shores lies the state of South Carolina. 28th in size, 27th in population.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mitch Stock coming live to you from Aiken, South Carolina, at Carolina Dragway, the House of Hook. And no, your eyes are not deceiving you. This is not my normal cohort, David Lancaster. This is the one and only Robert Peffley, the current Super Stock points leader. Robert, glad to have you with us, brother. What a great day of racing I think we're going to have.
Oh, man, I'm glad to be here. The skies have opened up and the sun's come out, and I think we're going to have a great day of racing. This place gets its name by the House of Hook, and it's hooking.
That it is. Well, at least it's hooking on the starting line, I think. I believe we've had a little bit of issue down track. We've had some carnage today. Gary Smith, unfortunately, losing the chicken bone, Henry J. that he runs, and that car just starting to run, so I really hated to see that. But, hey, Gary's okay, and he says that he's going to be back at the next race in Shadyside coming up in 2 weeks, and I told him, now, that's going to be an undertaking, Gary. But, hey, you know, he's got quite the crew over there. I think he can do it.
Yeah, he's right in the thick of a points battle himself in B-Gas, so we hope to see him back out the next one for sure. I know that group's going to battle hard this next couple weeks to get it ready to go.
Well, you know, he runs B-Gas, but however, that ain't got nothing to do with Robert Peffley. This is Super Stock, my brother. You have taken the lead in this. Mark Hackett had it for a little while. You went and made some changes to the old Chrysler, and you've come back in front of him, and I think maybe you've got a round or two lead on him at this point.
Yeah, we got a couple round lead on him at this point, and we're in the 10th stop of this Sega Tour, and it's a grueling one. We had our own bit of troubles just getting to the track. We had truck problems getting here, but we got here, and then it rained yesterday, and so it gives you all day to sit around and think about it. But the car came out this morning running good. Mark's running good, and we just keep pushing each other, and that's what this is all about.
Well, Robert, as you was saying, this is the 10th stop on an 11-race grueling tour with the Southeast Gassers Association. There is nothing about this. You won't find no pushovers in any of these categories. I was talking with Tim Bailey earlier, to be anywhere in the top 10, not to mention the top 5, and definitely not to mention the championship lead, is absolutely, that is an accomplishment. This is serious professional drag racing, and the coveted points championship is coming up just basically 2 races away if you count this one. And, this is going to be a show. The Southeast Gasser Association has a wonderful blowout at the end of the year to celebrate our champions. And so, Robert, are we going to see you on that stage?
I hope so. I hope you see me in the top spot. But like you said, we still basically got 2 races left to go, and it can go either way. That's for sure. I mean, I've seen heartache with this deal, and I've seen some real triumph with this deal. And there is points battles all over the spectrum in first and second and 8th and 9th, and just being in the top 10 is really an accomplishment with this deal.
And with that, 10th stop, Aiken, South Carolina, Carolina Dragway, the House of Hook. Robert, what do you say? Let's go hook 'em up. It's time to go drag race.
Let's do it.
Very good.
There you see Old Glory flying right here as we are in Aiken, South Carolina at the Carolina Dragway, the House of Hook. And there you see Josh Pruitt smoking those big Hoosiers, getting them ready to try to hook up here today at this beautiful racetrack here in Aiken. He'll be taking on Dan Hogan in the first pair to go down the racetrack in the first round of C-Gas. The 63 Ford Fairlane, driven by Pruitt, is called the Youngblood, and that Falcon in the other lane is called the Flat Out. Dan Hogan out of Georgia in that Flat Out Falcon. Look at the acceleration off the line for the Youngblood right there. Wheels down on that run, a little bit uncharacteristic for him, but what a strong pass he makes in the 8th mile. He'll move on to round number 2 action here today. Listen to that forward small block get through the big end as you see the Summit stripe tell you the tail of the tape right there. There is Leslie Horn in that stud muffin, the 62 Chevy 2 wagon, with a 287 cubic inch horsepower Gene Fulton under the hood this weekend. A little bit of a change in the motor. Went from the 292 to the 287. And trying to see what's going to happen here with that 287. I know he's been making a lot of passes in practice trying to get it right. The fiddle picker of Johnny Royals in the other lane is not going to be a match for the Stud Muffin as he is picking up the wheels in second gear. Awfully unusual for a Seagas car to get him up in second gear. Look at this car leave the line. There you see that second gear wheel pull with Robbins Repairables up in the air as it. There's Alfred Adams out of Clover, South Carolina in that 55. And there is George Miller out of Indiana. Curtis Miller Trucking there you see across the tailgate helping pay the bills for the Miller family. Getting this race car here from Indiana. One Way Technologies motor builder Sam Jones underneath the hood there of the Falcon Crazy in the right lane. The rolling dice, the rolling fives of Alfred Adams in the left lane. Looks like he stumbles a little bit on the starting line, and George Miller having no problems in this round matchup. Good sounds right there going down the racetrack. You see George Miller in his office. Watch him go to work. Keeps that throttle buried while he just tapping that clutch and shifting gears. Is George Miller doing a great job moving on to round number 2. There's the Scalded Dog Rambler, Tim Hall, coming up to the line, the 67 Rambler out of Abbeville, South Carolina, winner of our last race at Knoxville, Tennessee. Going to take on Rick Taylor right here out of Canada. He's our resident Canadian racer that we have here with us. He's running the 53 Chevy called the Maverick. Tim Hall making a serious run up this Seagas points ladder as he finds himself sitting in about 4th position as we talk right now and has missed a couple of races due to his military obligations. Tim Hall, the vocational teacher of auto mechanics in Abbeville, South Carolina, streaks away to a win right here in round number 1. Good shot from behind of that Rambler leaving the line. That Rambler's out of here like he is a scalded dog. Great shot right there from Sewell Imagery as you see the rear tires wrinkling up. Those Hoosiers getting down to business here at the House of Hook. Todd Oden in that 1958 Delray out of Birmingham, Alabama called the Double X, our 2017 Seagas champ. Going to take on Jenny Moses out of Brazelton, Georgia in her 1955 Scream Machine Chevy. The Scream Machine, a beautiful race car painted by Paul Vanderpool, kind of up against the flat black, matte black look of that 58 Delray. Definite contrast in paint jobs as you see the sunshine hit that beautiful paint and it just pops off that Scream Machine. She's got her hands full right here with Oden. All right, Oden in the first 60 feet puts this one away early and puts Jenny Moses on the trailer back to Georgia. Great look, great sound as the 58 Delray moves on, and there is a Sewell Imagery shot of those wheels in the air on the starting line for Todd Oden. Cynthia Phillips going to be next up in that Flower Power 1956 Chevy. She's going to have a competition single right here as her competition was not able to make the starting line call here today for round number 1 after having some problems in qualifying. So she'll have a single right here. Good thing she does is that car did not leave the line sounding happy, but nonetheless she takes the green light and we'll move on to round number 2. There's our number 1 qualifier, the hometown man right here, the 2018 champ Larry Noel driving a different car. No, that's not the Crazy Horse. That is the car that he has purchased from Billy Edwards, and he has set the number 1 qualifying time here today at Aiken in that car. And you see Sandy Noel there on the side door, his wife, and bringing him up to the line is Sandy. Larry Noel will get the bye run by virtue of being the number 1 qualifier here today.
Gary Smith suffered a horrendous accident in the second round of qualifying today, and what you see behind me here is the aftermath of the chicken bone B-gas category racer. And Gary, buddy, you took a very, very serious hit. Certainly a blessing to see you standing here with us today. I know you got some pain. I know you're not your normal cheery self, but hey, brother, you're still with us.
I'm all right. Gonna be all right.
Can you tell me what happened, Gary?
I have no clue. I have no clue. It seemed like I pulled second gear and it just went straight for the wall, and I saw it coming, and then after that, I don't remember nothing.
Well, and things like that happen. Maybe we'll talk to you at the next race. Some things might start to float back in. But most of all, Gary, I wanted to get up with the people. Obviously, this is being broadcast live on Speed Sport. People around the world see these things. They want to know that you're okay. Because after all, the people that tune in take their time and money to watch these races. They have a respect and an honor for you guys. And so we want them to let you know that you may not be 100% right now, but you're okay. And so I think maybe we'll just hope and pray that you continue to do better and that we see you again.
I'll be back. I'll see you on Shady Side.
Well, this comes at a time when the old chicken bone was really starting to run. I was happy to see it. At the last race, you was making rounds and everything was great. So we know that we're on the right track. Just do a little more of the same thing.
It'll be back. We'll be back. We'll be back for Shady Side.
With what you've got, that's a challenge. So, brother, we'll be praying for you.
We'll be there.
Thank you, Gary.
I want to thank all our great sponsors here as we get ready to start B-Gas round number 1. First two up going to be Daniel Haynes out of Holly Springs, South Carolina, into Patriot. That Falcon going to be in the left lane. And there you see his wife, Mary Beth, dressed in her patriotic colors as his backup girl. Going to take on good friend and competitor Ernie Smith out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, in Paula's Nightmare, the 1966 Chevy 2 four-door with the Ford Cleavor horsepower underneath the hood. There's a great shot. Ace's high tattoos and wings, etc., helping Ernie Smith get up and down the road here in the Southeast Gasser Trail. Great start right there for Haynes. He has a slight hole shot advantage. Is that going to be enough at the end? What a drag race. Look at that summit stripe come into play right there. And Ernie Smith is the winner. And folks, if we didn't have those lights telling us who the winner was, I don't know if I could call that one. Great drag race right there in B-Gas, first pair down the racetrack, and that W lets you know. Here's Ernie Smith inside of his office, taking this win here today. Great job by Ernie Smith and Daniel Haynes, putting on one of the greatest races we've seen here in a long time. The Atomic Hillbilly of Todd Napier out of Oliver Springs, Tennessee, will be next up, and he'll take on the Rayford, North Carolina runner, Michael Walters, in that beautiful Papa's Wild Willis. I love those Willis body styles. That just screams period correct gasser to me. Taking you all the way back to the days of the Moonlighter, Gene Cromer, one of our founding members here in the Southeast Gassers. Oh, good lead right there. Looks like Michael Walters stumbles in second gear. And Todd Napier, that's all he needed. That little bobble by Walters. Yeah, you can hear it right there. Just a little bobble by Walters through the gears. I don't know if there was a mechanical problem or what. And that's all Todd Napier needed to put that Hillbilly on into round number 2. There you see Jeff Madden in the misleading 2, nicknamed the Hitman, as he had some problems here in Friday night testing. He put that car into the wall in the left lane. We have running this race on Sunday, and Saturday all his competitors and friends helped him put this car back together so he could make the call right here for first round of qualifying on this beautiful Sunday afternoon here in Aiken, South Carolina. His friends also re-nicknamed him Crash, as we kind of called him Hollywood. It's been a tough year for Jeff Madden. You might know that in Lyons, Indiana, Jeff lost his primary car that he's been campaigning for 2 years out here and misleading, but not letting anything inhibit him as he drops a hammer right here, gets those wheels in the air, and Rick Varner and him put on a great drag race, but Rick Varner turns on the red light, as you see right here, left just a little too soon, did Varner, and the Dirt Man going to go back to the trailer and try it next time as he leaves too early. and putting that Charleston, South Carolina racer, Jeff Madden, on into round number 2. Great still photography right there for Caleb Sewell, showing you those wheels in the air. There's another guy, Rod Bergner, had some troubles on Friday night in testing, lost a rear end out of his car, and on Saturday there's another great shot of him repairing that car with the help of a lot of friends to get him here today. I'm telling you, there's a special camaraderie here in the Southeast Gassers, and the guy that he is one of the biggest friends with is Bergner, is TJ York, and kind of ironically, he matches up with him here in round number 1. TJ York, you remember, from Ohio, was our winner at our last race at Knoxville Dragway in that Greenhorn Hillbilly, which will be in the right lane. Rod Bergner, the Undertaker out of Texas, has made every race with us so far this year, this being the 10th race, and he's got a 1,300-mile pull minimum to any race we go to. TJ York getting an early hole shot advantage right there, and that's going to be all he needs. Bergner coming up just a little short. And TJ York got that Greenhorn Hillbilly running on mean right here today at Aiken. As you see and hear him get through the top end gears, and another great shot of both of those cars leaving the line almost together. There's Michael Walters as he was getting ready to go. Next pair of matchups is going to be Art Copeland in that 41 Studebaker out of Georgia. And he's taken off the student driver tag on the back, and now he's got a Studebaker tag on there in that car that he calls the Kryptonite. He's going to be racing Kelvin Cannon in the Loose Cannon, part of the Platt and Cannon racing team right there in the right lane. And Art Copeland turns on the red light, giving the win over to none other than Kelvin Cannon. We might have to put that student driver tag back on the back for Art Copeland. As you see, he just kind of bumbles up a little bit, getting to the starting line. That car just pulls him right through there. Great lead for Kelvin Cannon.
I know this is not uncharted territory for you. You have been a past champion, and you have raced like a champion this year. That's why you've got this 5-round lead.
Well, back in 16, it was the same 2 guys fighting for it. I somehow managed to squeak by him. I'm hoping I can squeak by him this time. If you don't have what it takes to get out there and just go rounds with them, they're going to beat you. That's the reason I said I'm not going to give it up until you tell me it's done. Not mathematically possible.
Well, there's no question. Jerry and Joey, they live and breathe racing. That race car does not stay in the trailer to the next race, I can assure you, nor do I believe yours does. But, Tim, I'll tell you this. You're certainly one of the guys who built the Southeast Gassers Association. So with that, I'll say good luck to you, Tim. I can't wait to see the final out.
There's our number 1 man in the points right now, Tim Bailey out of Southern Pines, North Carolina, in the Alley Cat. There you see his crew getting him lined up and ready to go. Fox Performance engines underneath the hood there for our number 1 man in points right here, Tim Bailey. He's going to take on Jason Roberts in a race that is a hometown race for Roberts in the Carolina Moon. Great story behind Roberts' car as he saw the Southeast Gassers and knew he had to be a part of it. And this Carolina Moon car just leapt a little too early, turning on the red light, giving Tim Bailey a round win right here and 5 more points toward his championship run that he's making here in 2019. There you hear the Alley Cat getting through the gears and getting to the top end. Great shot right here as they leave the line. You see Roberts leaving oh so early, just by a hair of a second. Our number 1 qualifier will be up next. There is the Birch Brothers Racing. Driver Jerry Birch in that race car with his brother Joey as the crew chief out of Roebuck, South Carolina, the Freebird, putting it on the pole right here today in B Gas. They're going to get a buy run right here, $2.95 food and spirits, Blue Sky Wholesale on the side. What a great sound as he clicks it off just a little bit early. But listen to this car leave the line. Performance Automotive Engines underneath the hood, PAR Race Engines, Performance Automotive Engineering, helping that wheel stand get off the ground right there.
Got a minute to catch up with Gabriel Burrell, sitting currently 3rd in the points. Obviously, something happened to your 31 this weekend. What exactly took place?
Made a test pass and it dropped a valve some point going down the racetrack there, so we had some carnage on our end, so
Tony showed up this morning and was like, hey, just drive my car.
Well, obviously, you drive this car different than Tony does. So it's going to require a little bit of chassis modification or whatever to bring this car to your driving style. But I do say that the first qualifying pass you made in the car looks to show tremendous promise, maybe more so than your 31 has had all year, which could well be the catalyst that you need.
That's what we're hoping. I think it can do all the 31 can do and then some. So I think if we can get a couple changes here dialed in, and by first round, I hope we'll be ready for them.
I suggest you do it fast.
We'll try.
We'll move next to our A-Gas category. We want to thank all our fine sponsors for helping out this year in A-Gas. First pair out going to be Rob Walden in that 33 Willis out of Atlanta, Georgia. The replica of his father's car with the mechanical fuel injection on it. 409 cubic inches under the hood right there for Rob Walden. And the quick and dirty of Tony Turner is going to be campaigned this weekend by none other than Gabriel Burrell. Burrell in the Southern Flyer had a massive motor blow up at our last race at Knoxville, Tennessee, and Gabriel Burrell sitting solidly in the 3-hole in points for A-Gas. Tony Turner has graciously let him run his car so he could continue to try to get points and stay locked into that 3rd slot. Great lead by both cars. This quick and dirty giving him all he wants. The quick and dirty of Gabriel Burrell driving it, gonna take on and knock off Walden right here in first round. Always knew that car had a lot under the hood, and there you see Tony Turner with the jump into the air. Speed and Culture t-shirt on. That must be his good luck charm.
Tony Turner, there is something strange about quick and dirty. It's got a young guy in it.
We're trying out a new driver this weekend.
So you've tried motors, you've tried transmissions, you've tried rear ends, you've tried tires. Now you're trying to drive.
I even tried illegal fuel.
I don't know we should say that, but hey, I guess if you didn't get caught, it wasn't illegal. But here's the thing, Tony. How's this driver change working out?
It's working out really good for me. The funny thing is, I would have paid him to drive, but he never asked for any money, so doing it for free.
We'll just have to wait and see what unfolds, but so far, so good.
Yeah, so good.
There you see West Virginia Bones in his little scooter he takes around the pits, having a good time here at Aiken. As the next pair get ready, that's going to be Sam Gable in the Moonshot, the 1956 Chevy, taking on Steve Davis out of Monroe, North Carolina in the Spinny 2. Steve Norwood horsepower under the hood for the Spinny 2, 383 cubic inches in that little Chevy 2 that'll be in the right lane. In talking to Davis a little earlier this week, he said that first round of qualifying would have been their 100th pass on this car this year. They have been some tireless workers in getting this car dialed in this year. And you got to know that there's going to be a win somewhere soon on the horizon for those guys. Right here, they're going to be a round win for Spinny 2 as Steve Davis powers it through the summit stripe at the end. Look at that car. There is a testament to all that work that his crew has put in this year on that car, going straight down that 8th mile. Sundell Auto Specialties out of Shelby, North Carolina, got the little red wagon supported, 477 cubic inches of performance automotive engines, par race engines underneath the hood. Going to take on another par motor, that of Ben Christopher from Boiling Springs, South Carolina. He'll be in the left lane in that 48 Anglia, and this is definitely a tale of two sizes of cars. The big 65 Chevelle wagon versus the little 48 Anglia. Ben Christopher off to an early lead right there. Can Barry Lynn drive back around? No, Ben Christopher at the stripe. There's a great shot right there at the summit stripe of Ben Christopher taking the win. There you see that Anglia off the ground in second and third gear. And Ben Christopher takes that car to the next round. Another good shot from behind Barry Lynn's car. Barry Lynn shaking off the demons that plagued him last year here at Carolina Dragway when he wrecked that car here and put it on its top. There's the number one qualifier of Dean Jonas out of Mount Holly, North Carolina. getting everything ready for his bye run, as he will be our number 1 qualifier. And there you see the 66 Chevy 2 with a Fulton race engine under the hood doing his burnout right there in the right lane. Jonas, a tireless worker and had been in the drag racing game for many years as an employee of Tommy Mooney Race Cars. And there you see that car tracking straight down the 8th mile, and he putting it into the second round here with a bye in the first. Ron Pope Motorsports helping the Hall Chassis Engineering 55 Chevy of Zach Hall. There you see Zach and his dad Ron at the front right there, getting everything ready to take on J.T. Moses out of Brazelton, Georgia, with another one of those Paul Vanderpool paint jobs on the car. Got a Bischoff race engine underneath the hood there for J.T. Moses. 532 cubic inches of big block Chevy. There you see him doing a burnout right there at the House of Hook, getting those big Hoosiers nice and smoky and sticky and cleaned off. And Jenny Moses is going to bring her husband back. There you see Jenny directing Justin back into his tracks. Don't know what's going on over there in the left side, but looks like Zach Hall's going to be unable to make it. So a competition single right here for J.T. Moses. He clicks it off just a tad early, but a good run nonetheless, as you see him getting off the line right there with the wheels in the air for that Caleb Sewell
joked
photo.
About Kenneth being the bridesmaid. He's been here 2 or 3 times. I can assure you he's sick of that. He wants to clinch this championship. So as if you didn't already know it, you and the entire Swamp Monster team, if you didn't already know it, you better have your ducks in a row. You better bring your A game, because Kenneth Phillips is here for serious keeps. He's going to go get this championship, and I do believe that his mind is right, and you're going to have to take it from him.
Oh, yeah. He's comfortable. He's made some rounds. He's won the last 3 races, and he's done well. And we've struggled with this car the last 3 races. I hope today is the turning point for us. I'm getting comfortable in the car again. I'm getting used to the clutch pedal again. The track seems to be coming around. We slowed things down. Now we're trying to kind of creep back up on them, and we have every intention of winning this championship.
Well, it'd be a real treat to me if this went down to, say, the final round at the next race. So we're just going to have to wait and see.
If it takes to the last round of the Shady Side race, we are going to take this championship.
Well said, and quite the challenge there, Kenneth Phillips. I don't know if you're watching or listening, but I think these guys may be just as serious as you in America. For you, those of you watching and tuning in and around the world, don't miss this. This is going to be a showdown at the OK Corral.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Par race engines underneath the hood of the Frequent Flyer, the 1961 Corvette driven by Alan Gaulden out of Land O'Lakes, Florida. Alan Gaulden sits second in points right now, only behind the Silver Streak 2 of Kenneth Phillips, as they've had a year-long battle here for this points championship. And he's going to get Troy Leitner here out of Liberty, South Carolina in the first round. Troy in that 1951 Henry J that he calls the Shakin' Bacon. One of my favorite cars out here. Just love that paint job on that Shakin' Bacon. Straight down the racetrack goes Alan Gaulden. And at the summit stripe, you see the margin of victory right there for Gaulden. Troy Leitner just not enough under the hood for this time to take out the big Swamp Monster with that big block par motor underneath the hood. Caleb Sewell bringing you a great shot right there off the starting line, and here is the aforementioned Silver Streak 2 of Kenneth Phillips, the points leader right now in A Gas. beautiful sound to hear these guys get through the gears, much to the approval of Elizabeth Phillips. Nothing like the sound of a 4-speed small block winding it up, getting down the racetrack. We're going to move on to Super Stock, round number 1 right here. First pair out going to be Mark Hackett out of Lebanon, Tennessee, in that 65 Mercury Comet Caliente. He's going to take on Dale Morton right there. And no, that's not the Lucille. That's a backup car for Dale Morton. One of his cars that he had at home, another Fairlane, that does meet the Super Stock rules and regulations here in the Southeast Gassers. But Dale Morton had some trouble with Lucille, some motor problems at Knoxville. Such a quick turnaround to this one. He had to bring out this car right here to keep his points battle and chances alive, but he turns on the red light right here in first round, giving it over to Mark Hackett. And Mark Hackett was going to be a tough man to beat anyway, as he is the number 2 man in points, trailing Robert Peffley by only 10 points in this Super Stock World Championship battle. Bobby Purcell out of Anderson, South Carolina, in the Legacy. There you see him. He's going to take on Zach Long out of Leesville, South Carolina, in the Brass Monkey. That 66 Belvedere wagon. Basically a hometown race right here for Zach Long. Long gets a good start, all that big car moving, and he's going to take the win in the Brass Monkey right here, getting him a round win at his home track, and I know that's going to put a big smile on Zach Long's face as he has worked tirelessly this year to get this car working. Next guy up, that's going to be Dean Hall in a car that he calls Hammer's Dream. He's going to have a competition single here in this round, as his competition was unable to make it. So all he has to do is take the green light, and he'll move on to round number 2 because his competition was not able to make the call. Robert Peffley, we talked about him before. He is our points leader and number 1 qualifier here today, and he will take a bye run by virtue of being the number 1 qualifier. As we move into Seagas for round number 2, I want to thank our fine sponsors this year for all their contributions. There you see the number 1 qualifier, Larry Noel, going to take on another strong runner right here in Cynthia Phillips. The 55 Chevy versus the 56 Chevy of the Flower Power. Cynthia Phillips, the first lady of the Southeast Gassers. There you see Sandy Noel bringing up Larry to the starting line, and Cynthia getting in the beams right there. They get ready to get it on here at Aiken today. Larry Noel with a big shot off the line, and he's going to carry that through for the win right there against Cynthia Phillips. Good shot from behind right here as you watch this car leave the line. And there's the Summit stripe telling you the margin of victory for the winner right there, Larry Noel. The Falcon Crazy of George Miller going to take on Tim Hall right here. Tim Hall, the 67 Rambler, the Scalded Dog out of Abbeville, going to take on George Miller in that Falcon in the right lane. Going to be a good matchup right here. These two cars run very consistent. And Tim Hall just chops the tree down, does a great job getting that car down the racetrack. There is the stripe, letting you know who won that one. Leslie Horn, the stud muffin, going to take on the Youngblood, Josh Pruitt, right here in a big matchup in round number 2. Both of these guys, neighbors and friends, but when it comes to the water box, there is no friends. The stud muffin trying to maintain his points lead right now. There you see that 62 Chevy 2 with Robbins Repairables on the side. Josh Pruitt, the 22-year-old, wiping his hands, getting them all dried off and ready, as he knows he's got to try to knock off Leslie Horn right here, neighbor and friend, but that all ends right here on the starting line. And Leslie Horn uncharacteristically turns on the red light too soon, as he wanted another 5 points, but unfortunately not going to get that here today. And there's the slow-mo shot. You see he left way early. Josh Pruitt going to be the winner right here. Josh Pruitt moves on to round number 3 here today at Carolina Dragway. There's Todd Oden. His competition was going to be broken and not able to make it, so he's got a single right here. And in true Todd Oden fashion, he's going to take a leisurely Sunday afternoon drive and take the green flag and green light and move on to round number 3, where he'll put that Belvedere up in competition in round number 3 here today in C gas. Moving on to B gas, round number 2 here at the Carolina Dragway. I want to thank all our fine sponsors for helping us out here today. There's the Freebird, our number 1 qualifier, Jerry Birch out of Roebuck, South Carolina, in that Par race engines underneath the hood right there. He's going to take on Ernie Smith in Paula's Nightmare out of Spartanburg, South Carolina. A couple of Spartanburg County drag racers right here with a long history in both cars. Ernie Smith been drag racing most of his life. The Birch brothers virtually grew up in it with their dad, Joe Birch, teaching them at a young age. Wheels up for the Freebird, the number 1 qualifier, and that Par race engine's underneath the hood, tuned by Joey Birch. Gonna get on into round number 3 right here today. There you see those wheels up as he left the line and left Ernie Smith sitting in the dust.
Talk about trying to redeem yourself from the last race. Good job so far. Oh, Hot Rod looks like it's running good. Could this be the day when you go back to the winner's circle?
It could be. She's strolling. Yeah, I got to do a lot to redeem myself from last time.
So just simply being Mr. Purple Haze ain't enough today, huh?
There's TJ York out of Ohio, the next one up in the 55 Chevy called the Greenhorn Hillbilly, with another one of those Paul Vanderpool paint jobs here in B Gas, and he's going to take on friend and competitor Jeff Madden in the Misleading 2, and there you see Steve Bright, the crew chief for the Misleading 2, getting his man Jeff Madden, Hollywood Jeff Madden, all lined up. TJ York right here trying to get by his buddy to make sure he can maintain that points onslaught that he's trying to run and catch the Birch brothers for second place. TJ York giving him all he's got and taking the win right here. Got to know, after hitting that wall on Friday night, even making it to second round was an accomplishment for Jeff Madden, and he will get that car fixed before we make the finals at Shadyside. Hopefully he'll get everything worked out so he can give them some more competition. But TJ York moves on to round number 3 right here.
TJ York, brother, taking out your buddy over here, Jeff Madden, after he's been crashed, beat, bang, bruised, blooded up. Don't you feel bad?
No, that's why I made him go in the left lane. I was afraid he might run into me or something. So I stuck him over there. Him and Rod's supposed to be my buddies. They've been ganging up on me all day today. Had to run Rod first round, now him second round.
Well, you know, now that you got that out of the way, it ain't no sweat for nobody else. You know, everybody else from this point on, just another hombre.
That's right. We're going to try to do best we can, sir. See what happens.
Well, we know you can make rounds. We've seen you do it at the last, and we'll be waiting to see what happens next, TJ.
Thank you, sir.
And the Atomic Hillbilly of Derek Napier out of Oliver Springs, Tennessee, going to take on Kelvin Cannon in the loose cannon. There you see that beautiful red paint job, Platt and Cannon Racing on the side right there, as Christy Burchett gets Kelvin Cannon where he needs to get to. Whole shot advantage for Kelvin Cannon. Looks like something broke or something malfunctioned on the starting line after that leave for Cannon, and he didn't make it really to the 60-foot beam before Todd Napier was able to get back around him and drive on to the win.
My friend, you know, we just never tire of seeing you down here in the winters, you know, making rounds. You always got something up your sleeve, and the old Atomic Hillbilly just running stronger every day.
I'm putting a lot of power down, and I just kind of try to get it finesse to come out of the hole. It don't know if it wants to stand up or lay down. Woo!
Well, whatever it's doing, keep doing it, because it's winning round.
I'll sure do, and I'll be back.
We're missing a purple T-shirt. What happened to that?
I bought a bird cage with a bird down here I'm going to have when I get up against birds.
Wow, I can't wait to see that.
Yes.
Number 1 man in points right now, Tim Bailey. There you see him in that 57 Corvette, getting ready for the next round here of B-Gas. Tim Timmerman alongside, helping out. And Elizabeth Phillips putting him into the beams. He's going to get a competition single right here, as had a little bit more attrition happen out here on the starting line, and a competitor not able to make it. Sunday afternoon racing right here. Moving on to A-Gas for round number 2 from Carolina Dragway here in Aiken, South Carolina. The House of Hook. And hook does he ever want right here, as Steve Davis wants to hook hard and make a great run against the frequent flyer, and it's going to take everything he's got to knock off this big swamp monster that comes out of the lakes of Florida. Alan Gaulden in that 61 Corvette versus the Chevy 2 of Steve Davis out of Monroe, North Carolina. Mitch Stott dubbed this car the Swamp Monster early on in its career, and it is making a run right now for the A-Gas Championship. Good start right there by both cars. Steve Davis giving it all he can give him, and Alan Gaulden pulls it out. Watch this great race right here, folks. Steve Davis with a starting line advantage, but that is quickly made up, and the Summit Stripe tells you by about a half a car length, or maybe a car length and a half, Steve Davis unable to keep that victory. All right, there's Kenneth Phillips rolling up to the right-hand lane and rolling through the box right here. He's our number 2 qualifier here today in the Silver Streak 2. And again, unable to make the call is his competition, so he'll have a competition single right here. Got to make sure that you take the green light right here. So it looks like, don't know if Kenneth will do that or if he'll run it through. Traditionally, he runs it through. There you see his passenger door coming open, not unfazed by that as he keeps digging. But Kenneth Phillips, watch this replay as he gets down the racetrack. There you see his passenger door coming open as that car uncharacteristically bounced on the starting line, I guess dislodging the door. And Gabriel Burrell driving the quick and dirty this weekend. It's going to take on our number 1 qualifier, Dean Jonas, right here, the 39 Dodge, quick and dirty. That big, quick and dirty paint job, just a beautiful paint job you see on that car. Kaylee Smith backing up Gabriel Burrell, getting him ready to go here as Dean Jonas from Mount Holly, North Carolina, sits patiently in the right lane, awaiting his competition here. Burrow got to think Burrow's got to try to pull something out of his hat right here. As he does, he gets a start on the line. That car going toward the wall, and Gabriel Burrow having to get out of it. Dean Jonas keeping his car straight and takes the win right here in round number 2. Watch this car move to the wall for Gabriel Burrow. Wow, he had his hands full right there. Gabriel Burrow doing a great job of driving. Look at that. He pushes the clutch in. Tony Turner and his dad giving a little bit of a jump right there, and disappointed, to say the least, with the performance of that car going left.
Well, we didn't hit the wall.
Yeah, that's true, Tony. You didn't hit the wall, and that is a great thing. Gabriel Burrow doing a great job of driving, but Dean Jonas moves on to round number 3 in the Agent Orange car. J.T. Moses out of Brazelton, Georgia, in that 56 is going to get Ben Christopher out of Boiling Springs, South Carolina, in that 48 Anglia. Another big Tri-5 Chevy versus that small 48 Anglia. Parr race engines under the hood for Ben Christopher. Bischoff race engines under the hood for J.T. Moses. There you see Jenny Moses, Justin's wife, getting him ready to go on the starting line. Big lead right there by Ben Christopher. What an advantage he has as that car gets out of shape down track as he tries to apply more horsepower, and unable to keep it straight is Ben Christopher, and that has been the story of his year so many times. And J.T. Moses gets the win right here. Watch again. Ben Christopher just unable to keep applying horsepower to that race car as he had a big advantage off the tree, and just too much erratic handling happens in that car and unable to keep it straight.
Southeast Gassers Association never fails to produce or to draw in people from around the world. This weekend in particular, a gentleman by the name of Ray Irish and his lovely, lovely wife,
Linda.
Ray is a gasser racer. You got some building some gasser stuff back over across the pond, as they call it, Ray.
41 Willis truck.
41 Willys truck.
We race in the Gasser Circus in the UK at Santa Pod Raceway.
Well, now, we've had some other guys from the Gasser Circus join us as the years have gone by. So, as I said, Southeast Gassers is always drawing what we're just going to go ahead and call international spectators, fans, support, all of the above. The greatest attendance we ever had was at a race in Georgia last year. I believe it was 27 people representing 7 different countries at one race, including Japan.
What draws us here? The excitement, the passion for the racing, and it's not complicated. 2 guys lead the start line. The first one at the end wins. No breakouts, no dial-ins.
This is not your first race.
Third race.
You just can't get enough, can you?
No, just not enough money, unfortunately.
Yeah, we all know how that is. But, Ray, all jokes aside, do you feel that is something that will persevere? We think so, and truthfully preserve drag racing history.
Oh, without a doubt. There's no substitute. You look at the magazines from the 60s and you're seeing it again today. I can't go anywhere else and watch this stuff. It's as simple as that.
Come all the way from England to watch what he can't see nowhere else. That's the Southeast Gassers Association, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Ray, Linda. It's a pleasure having you. Welcome to America anytime, and safe travels, and enjoy your birthday.
Thank you, and it was our privilege to be here.
All right, AFX semifinals right here as you see the lights coming on here in Aiken as the daytime turns to night. There's Alan Platt in the Georgia Shaker, a replica of his father's car, Hubert Platt, there with a mechanical fuel injection on the hood. He hails out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's going to race Robert Frazier in the black and blue Barracuda, who's from Bristol, Tennessee. There you see Alan Platt in his car, Robert Frazier in his car, backed up by his wife Rita. They make a good team in that black and blue racing over there. These guys put up $400 every race to see who can win in this competition, and it looks like Alan Platt going to take the win in that Georgia Shaker 3. What a great tribute to his dad, Hubert Platt, the longtime legend in drag racing, member of none less than 10 drag racing halls of fame. There you see the flame coming out from under. Methanol injected cars right here in this competition. Again, not Southeast Gasser legal, but these cars are an exhibition class here in Southeast Gassers. There he is, the Dixie Twister of Rocky Platt in the 1965 Fastback Chevy 2. The Dixie Twister, a direct replica of what his father, Houston Platt, campaigned in the Gasser Wars of the 60s. He's going to take on Todd Wimberly out of Atlanta, Georgia, in that Falcon that he calls the Southern Comfort. There you see Rocky Platt with a dry hop right there, trying to figure out where he wants to leave the starting line and what RPM level. Kaylee Smith bringing Rocky Platt back into the beams and in his tracks. So Rocky Platt still got that car smoked up from that smoky burnout on the inside. Can't hardly see Rocky in there. Rocky Platt with smoke coming out the sides. Going to definitely take the win right here. And what an image that is. Tire smoke still coming out the sides of the race car. Watch this from behind, folks. You see the wisp of white smoke coming out from around the car. And Rocky Platt driving it straight and true down the racetrack just like his dad would be proud to see. And he is actually watching that from the skies above. Great looking race. Can barely see Rocky in there. As we move to our Superstock semifinals right here. There he is, Robert Peffley in the 4-speed Stampede. He's going to take on another Belvedere driven by Zach Long out of Leesville, South Carolina, called the Brass Monkey. So a 65 right there, you see, 65 Plymouth Belvedere wagon running a 66 Plymouth Belvedere wagon in the other lane. And Robert Peffley, just as he has been all year, is so strong with that big 440 under the hood. And he just powers himself to another round victory, back into another final round here this evening at Carolina Dragway. Zach Long getting a little out of shape about half track, pushing in the clutch and thinking better of it. Next pair coming up in the semis is going to be Dean Hall and Hammer's Dream right there. You see him doing a burnout. He's going to take on Mark Hackett in that 65 Mercury Comet Caliente. It's becoming a two-horse race right here in the Southeast Gassers Superstock division between Peffley and Hackett. And there you see Hackett out of Lebanon, Tennessee in that Caliente, just powers it on down the racetrack, keeping step with Robert Peffley the whole way. Remember, there is a 10-point margin right now in points as Peffley is the points leader and Hackett trying to run him down. Both of these guys making the finals today. Hackett definitely looking to cut into that lead by another 5 points if he can knock him out next round. Our C-Gas semifinals is next on tap right here for you. And there is Todd Oden in that 1958 Delray. He's going to take on Tim Hall. Look at Mr. Lester Oden watching Todd burn those big Hoosiers up, get them good and cleaned off and sticky as he gets ready to take on the 67 Rambler of Tim Hall. Tim and his dad, George, there you see him by his side as they have won 3 drag weeks together and now trying to put together another victory here in Southeast Gassers. There you see Gina Oden bringing up her man Todd Oden to the line. Great matchup right here. These guys have matched up many times this year. Oh, uncharacteristic. Tim Hall turns on the red light. Great race between these two, but Tim Hall was trying his best on the line. Turns on that red light, and Todd Oden takes the win. And look at that wide load sit down in the back end. Great slow-mo shot right here. Love to see that, guys. Trent Sherrill putting this together for you. And there you see, ever so slightly, Tim Hall gets caught by the light. What a sound as you heard Todd Oden in his office getting that double X down the racetrack. Look at the wheels up leave for him.
Double X back in business, Todd Oden, just taking out the nemesis, Tim Hall.
Hey, the two of us have got a battle going on. It's back and forth, but tonight I'm having to hold this car in first gear, leaving the line, and it is all I can do to keep it in first gear. You know, of course, it's a quick first gear, but it's a job to keep it in there right now.
Well, you know, Tim was saying the same thing to me previous. He said it's just back and forth, and he said the bad thing is I won the last one.
Well, we kind of flip-flopping, but I want to kind of get on a run one day, you know.
Just go ahead and run with it. Well, you know, obviously it was just your turn, first gear or not. It looks like it was Todd Oden's turn. As I've been referring to you here lately as the great Todd Oden. So, hey, you guys just you're back in your home turf. You're in your comfort zone. Double X, I don't see much going wrong.
Well, let's see if we can get us a win tonight. Thank you.
As he moves to the final round here today in C-Gas. And who's he going to be facing? Is it going to be the young blood, Josh Pruitt, out of Inman, South Carolina, or will it be the hometown guy, Larry Noel, in that 55 Chevy? Brand new car to Larry Noel. I know he's trying to work out the bugs and get comfortable in the seat. Let's see if he can make it to the finals here at his home track versus the young blood. Oh, something happens with Larry Noel. You can hear the motor go up and not in gear. And the young blood, Josh Pruitt, powers on to victory. There you see the young blood crew, ever so excited right there. Billy Ison, the crew chief. Man, they have had a lot of problems this year out of the young blood, but when they show up strong.
Young blood, my man, what happened here? You just put Larry Noel on the trailer, #1 qualifier.
Yeah, that was a quick car, but I don't know if something broke or what happened, but a win's a win. I needed it.
Some of them old junk Chevrolet parts, you thinking maybe?
I ain't saying all that now. I'd have a lot of fans coming after me on that one.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you got to pump up the old Ford when you can. It is, after all, a Ford Chevrolet battle out here.
Built Ford tough.
Apparently it was tough enough to take out the Chevrolet. You've only got 1 or 2 more rounds to go. No problem.
We're going to give it all we got.
Moving on into B-Gas semifinals right here from Carolina Dragway. I want to thank all our fine sponsors for helping us there. TJ York, winner of our last event, finds himself in another semifinal, but he finds himself up against the #1 qualifier and the man he's chasing in points, Jerry Birch and the Freebird. Freebird been staying in that right lane all day. Let's see if it pays dividends for him right here against TJ York. Elizabeth Phillips bringing back TJ York in that 55 Greenhorn Hillbilly. Good in-car shot right there from TJ York. Looking down the beautiful lines of that car. Going to take on the Freebird. Who wants to go in first? A little bit of a staging duel right here. Looks like Birch will go in first. Or TJ York's in. But TJ York, man, what a leave right there. And the Summit stripe tells you who the winner is. TJ York taking the win right there over the Freebird of Jerry Birch. Big starting line advantage, and that's what it took to beat the Freebird here today. And that is uncharacteristic, as usually Jerry Birch is very good on the tree. Here's a shot from inside his office during this run. Not having to move the steering wheel much, got that car really dialed in and handling is TJ York. Couldn't help but notice that. TJ York awfully excited to get 5 more points in his championship run. Great photography right there by Trent Sherrill and his crew. And Kelly York, very excited as she knew that was a big round for her husband in his championship dreams.
I mentioned over in the pits just a little while ago that you was going to go defeather that Tweety Bird. Buddy, you just done it.
I'll tell you what, that was a good race right there. To beat the Birch brothers, I mean, they're top notch. I mean, they're great people. That's a fast race car. That was God on my side, and I think I got it done. So I don't know what to say on this one.
Well, you know, you said it all. That's why I said back in the pits when you said what you said, I thought, now that's going to be a story if this pulls off. You have pulled the feathers out of that bird, and yes, TJ York, that is an accomplishment, my friend. There's nothing stopping you. Carry it on to the finals, my brother.
We're going to try. We're going to try, sir. Thank you.
All right, Todd Napier right here in the Greenhorn Hillbilly. Going to be running the #1 man in points right now, Tim Bailey. Tim Bailey in the right lane. There you see Derek Napier getting his dad lined up from behind. Tim Timmerman steps away from the 57 Corvette of the Southern Pines, North Carolina runner, Tim Bailey. Good race right here. Tim Bailey pouring on that Fox power underneath the hood and putting that 57 Corvette into the finals where he can maintain his points margin as he gets another 5 points. And Jerry Birch is just eliminated by TJ York. And there you see the Summit stripe telling you the tale of the tape by about 2 car lengths. Tim Bailey takes the win. There you see his son Jared and Tim Timmerman celebrate with a high five. All right, A-Gas semifinals ready to come at you here as the lights are on and the stars of the Southeast Gassers come out. JT Moses going to be first around the corner. He's going to take on Dean Jonas in the Agent Orange car. 532 cubic inches of big block Chevy out of Bischoff Race Engines. JT Moses, Fulton competition underneath the hood for Dean Jonas in that 66 Chevy 2 out of Mount Holly, North Carolina. Jonas, our #1 qualifier here today. And there you see James Bramlett, crew member for Dean Jonas, getting him straight from behind. Jonas is in, waiting on Moses to come into the pre-stage. Good look at that Vanderpool paint job from behind. Dean Jonas with a starting line advantage, and that car going straight down the racetrack, and Dean Jonas moves to the finals here at Carolina Dragway. Man, look at that race. I mean, JT Moses really coming on hard at the top end, but that starting line advantage that Dean Jonas got proved to be too much. And Dean Jonas moves to the finals here today at Carolina Dragway, and could today be the day for Dean Jonas to punch his ticket?
This thing is just looking stronger and stronger.
Bracket car today.
So you just depend on it. It's going to do the number. No problem. Just put her down the race.
Don't worry about the car. All the worry's on me. That car does its job every time.
Well, you know what I say. If you don't do the same thing every time, the car may not. So you must be doing a pretty good job, Dean.
Evidently so. I guess, like I said earlier, this is getting fun.
No doubt it's getting fun.
As one of the 2 Goliaths are going to take on each other right here. They're going to knock one of them out. The frequent flyer, there you see him, the 61 Corvette being backed up by Christy Burchett. Going to take on Kenneth Phillips with his wife Elizabeth out front backing him up in the 58 Corvette. There you see also for Phillips the small block Fulton horsepower, the big block Parr horsepower for the frequent flyer. And there it is, Alan Gaulden takes it out of the gate. Something happened, a stumble by Phillips. Don't know what happened with him on the starting line, and just the smallest of stumbles is all you need here in A-Gas, and your competitor have you beat. Man, listen to those cars get through the top end stripe. Looks like a lot of wheel spin is what I see right there out of Kenneth Phillips. Just not able to hook, adding the house a hook tonight.
Alan Gaulden, climb out of there, man. I tell you what, if nothing else, you and Kenneth Phillips has produced one of the most exciting seasons I can ever imagine in A-Gas Southeast Gasser history. Brother, you know, this is just a boxing match. I mean, two heavyweights, two gladiators, you know, just duking it out back and forth. Who knows where this is going to end?
Whew, yeah, we're both swinging for the fences, man. That was awesome. And
hey, what? Take me through that run. That had to be a pivotal and important run for you, Alan. Talk to me about it. Give me the rundown from the staging to the finish line.
all right, well, I did burn out the same routine, and as I was staging the car, I kept thinking to myself, if we win this round, I'm going to see him out of my window the entire time. So keep it together. So I staged the car. You know, I staged first, and then he staged right away, and I went, you know, down the throttle, brought the RPMs up, the lights dropped. I cut a good light. It didn't red light for once, thank God. And the car left the starting line. It spun the tires. I short shifted a little bit, tried to help it out, and I didn't see him. And I thought, how can this be? I know I didn't red light again.
Gotta be there somewhere.
Gotta be there. So I didn't cut up no slack. I kept it hammered the whole run because I figured he'd be right there or trying to come around me. So I'm happy we got this win.
So he wasn't necessarily out the window, but that didn't matter. It ain't over to the fat lady sings, and you legged her all the way through. You come out the victor again, tying the points right back up. You guys are just killing me.
I ain't cutting him no slack. He don't cut me.
You better not.
He don't cut me no slack. I ain't cutting him no slack.
Well, hey, all I can say is there's one more race, and you've got, I think, 2 more rounds to make here. You know, maybe another great day for the Swamp Monster team.
Oh, we needed it. We needed it. Woo!
All right, our AFX final is going to be a battle of cousins right here. There you see the Hubert Platt tribute car driven by his son Alan, and the Dixie Twister Houston Platt car driven by his son Rocky. 2 first cousins right here running cars that were specially designed to replicate their dad's race cars back in the day. And here they find themselves on the starting line. Alan goes in deep. Rocky goes in regular. Alan comes off the starting line, and this is a good drag race right here by 2 injected cars. And Rocky Platt in the Dixie Twister takes the win over his first cousin Alan. Great to see these 2 cars go down the track. No doubt the Platt family done proud by the 2 jobs of driving by both of these drivers. But Rocky Platt takes home the $400 here today at Carolina Dragway. There's a great shot of Rocky in his office getting it done just like his dad did.
It has
in
been
the 60s.
a long day, and I do think you've made Houston proud, because the last round was against cousin Alan, and boy, did you smoke that Ford's tail.
It really felt good, and you're right. Dad would be proud. He really would. It was a good day. I ran consistent all day, and that's what it takes. And like I was telling you a few minutes ago, I really appreciate how you've taught me how to run this car. Between you and Quayne and a couple of people, Kelvin, they taught me how to run this car, and it makes a difference.
That and a little bit of Platt blood coursing through them veins. That's all good stuff.
Platt blood's always good.
You know, I had the pleasure of doing some announcing with Ricky Shackelford, one of your longtime crew guys today, and we was up there in the tower doing the announcing for the race, and we were talking about what a deep, rich history and how important, the Platt name was in drag racing history, and just what an honor it is to us to have you guys out here with these cars representing such an important segment of drag racing history.
Mitch, we're blessed to be out here with the Stott family, Platt family out here, and other families too out here. We're very blessed to be a part of this. I mean, I get choked up sometimes just thinking about it and talking about it, because I put so much time and effort into Southeast Gassers, and I put time and effort into what we're doing here.
You know you are doing your part to keep it alive, and I want you to know that if nothing else, it's a two-way street, but it's our honor to have you guys.
Mitch, thank you, and it feels good to be in the winner's circle for a change.
And it does. Congratulations, Rocky. Enjoy the spoils of victory, the throne of kingdom. There you have it, brother. You got it for the day.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Super Stock Finals coming up. Robert Peffley going to take on Mark Hackett, and we've heard this story way too many times.
I'm 10 points behind right now, so it's definitely his to lose. I'm just going to be there in case an opportunity comes along.
Been here before, just ready to get it done.
Been here before. Waiting kills you. It gives you all the time for that little butterflies in your stomach to all the stuff to think about to mess up.
Hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait.
The waiting is over right here as you see the Comet Caliente of Mark Hackett going to be in the left lane. Going to take on that big Belvedere of Peffley's in the right lane as Mark Hackett tries to carve 5 more points out of that lead and get it down to 5. And Peffley trying to extend it to 15 right here for the 5 points per round win. Look at Mark Hackett taking the win right here. Mark Hackett carves into it now with a 5-point deficit as we move to the next race. Don't know what happened to Peffley. You can hear it sputter right there about mid-track, and that's all it took. As you heard Mark Hackett say, he's just trying to be here in case anything happens, and he was taking the win here today at Carolina Dragway.
Congratulations, my friends. The Super Stock, the deed is done. You and old Peffley just trading blows back and forth. That brings you only 2 rounds away from the championship hopes for 2019, Mark.
Yeah, thank you, Mitch. We came here this weekend. We worked on the car in between Knoxville and here. We knew Robert had worked on his before Knoxville, and he wasn't going to give up. He'd be quicker when he got here. So we come with all we had. I hated that we won the way we did with Robert braking, but it was a good race to half track. And it's like I told you earlier. It's just we're a little bit behind in points, and we've just got to be in the right place when opportunities come along, and that's what we're going to try to do.
Well, that's all you can do as a drag racer, Mark, is you take advantage of the weaknesses of your opponent. And then sometimes your performance makes them weak. So it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you're taking advantage of their weakness. You're capitalizing on their shortcomings. That makes you the winner for the day. Again, this Super Stock battle has been year-long. You and Peffley has traded blows back and forth. You have been the points leader. Now he is. Obviously, you have no plans of giving up.
Oh, we don't know how to give up. We're going to go to Shady Side. I've said all along we want to take this thing all the way to Shady Side. We want all the fans there. We want it to be a fantastic show for everybody, and we're going to go with everything we got. I know he will too, and others. So it's going to be big when we get there.
Well, congratulations to you and the Blue Ovals. Henry Ford, I know, is smiling down because what wins on Sunday sells on Monday.
That's exactly right. Hey, see your local Mercury dealer.
Congratulations, Mark. You and team, brother. Y'all have a safe trip home. Enjoy the savors of victory.
Thank you, Mitch. Appreciate it.
Our C-Gas finalists getting ready for competition right here. Going to be Josh Pruitt taking on Todd Oden right here in the finals. There you see Todd Oden getting ready to go, and Josh Pruitt thinking about what he's got to do. There's his dad, Neil, getting everything wiped down for his son.
Be all right. What about the outside?
I wiped it.
It's good. It's just a glare. Don't be turning the nitrous on over there.
Hey, don't worry about what I'm doing over here. You just it's not your own business over here, young blood.
Great little bit of ribbon going on right there before the start of this matchup. But 2 great ones as these cars have both been in victory circle many times. You see the double X right there with Mr. Lester Oden beside it telling Todd, it's okay to go, Todd. All right, now the young blood going to burn his tires down, get those Hoosiers good and sticky in that 63 Ford Fairlane. There you see Debbie Eisen, the aunt of Josh Pruitt, getting him ready to go. Todd Oden with a great in-car right here. I know I love the in-car shots. Brings you right close to the action here. Debbie bringing up her nephew, Josh. Big matchup right here. Todd Oden trying to get another win right here as he climbs the ladder into C-Gas. Oh, a stumble right there by Todd Oden, and he turns on the red light. Josh Pruitt will get the win here today in Aiken, South Carolina. And man, that Youngblood crew is going to be excited. Don't know what happened right there. Got to think something in the drive line was giving way or something. Uncharacteristic red light by Todd Oden. But Josh Pruitt, with a lot of power in that car this weekend, takes the win right there. Look at the Youngblood crew. I told you they'd be awfully excited as they got that car back into victory lane and someplace they love to be. There you see all the family and friends down there with congratulations.
How do you feel?
Josh Pruitt, my friend, you and the Youngblood team today have literally, I'm going to say, rewritten what it takes to win. You guys have taken on every fierce opponent that Seagas has to offer and came out on top, starting with Leslie Horn, taking him out, then Larry Noel, #1 qualifier, then, as I sometimes say, the great Todd Oden in the finals. You guys have epitomized hard work paying off. Congratulations, Josh. You and the Youngblood team, just phenomenal job today winning this drag race.
Thank you, sir. It's if y'all knew what we went through, it's been hard. We've had a lot of changes, had to overcome and adapt, but the Seagas it's hard.
As I said, son, you guys have climbed mountains today that are absolutely seemingly insurmountable in some ways, because it's not that you haven't won in the past, but these guys are so dominant at this point in time.
Yes, they're hard to beat, but and I just want to thank my crew. Couldn't do it without them. My family, all support, love them to death.
Well, you know, obviously that you have that family structure, and you have the support and the belief, you know, of these people behind you and nurturing your own. But it all works together and it comes together. And I think the key family issue here is you don't give up. You keep struggling. You keep fighting. And sooner or later, the wins pay off. Congratulations, Josh. We're proud of you. Honored to have you racing with us. There's plenty of trophies and cameras and pictures and cash to come. So congratulations. We'll see you at the next race.
Thank you, sir.
All right, B-Gas Finals coming up to you right now.
What is the mindset since you're coming off of your first win?
Well, I just wanted to, you get one win and then you don't get there back. It's almost like it's a fluke. I just wanted to prove I can do it again and get back to the finals. Even if I don't win, I just wanted to prove decent enough driver, the car is good enough to make it back to the finals.
Killer. All right, thank you.
We all know that car is good enough to make it to the finals, and TJ got it handling well, but he has got to take on our current points leader right now, Tim Bailey, and that's another car that's handling real well and got a great race engine under the hood. Fox Performance engines under the hood there for Tim Bailey in that 57 Corvette. There you see Christy Burchett bringing him up to the starting line, and TJ York being brought to the starting line by Elizabeth Phillips. These two are our most decorated, I guess you'd say, backup girls, our bugs as we like to call them. And look at this race coming on at you. Tim Bailey with a starting line advantage. Good race right there. Tim Bailey taking the win here today at Carolina Dragway. Tim Bailey all but got a stranglehold on the points now with this win here today. Look at TJ York's car leading from behind as you see him try to get it down the racetrack here at Carolina Dragway.
Tim Bailey, buddy, I got to tell you, it is my honor to stand up here this evening with you in Winner's Circle, knowing what you have done throughout the year, knowing what you've done throughout the day. As I've had some other racers tell me, the amount of help that you've gave your fellow racers only goes to cement the fact of the professional that you are and the deserving wins that you get and the graces from God above. Tim, it has been a day. You have taken on them all. You've put them all on the trailer. And in my professional opinion, I may not call you the 2019 champion tonight, but as I've said, mathematically I believe it is yours to go along with your previous 2016 championship. Tim, brother, You are one bad man. Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy. I tell you what, it's been a long fight. A lot of work, a lot of nights, a lot of times looking at stuff scattered all over the floor. Is this car ever going to get back together in one piece? But a lot of hard-working people behind the scenes that I got to thank.
Oh, there's no question of that, Tim. Nobody really knows what goes on the back door.
They really don't. I mean, our fans come and see this stuff, and they don't understand the dedication it takes to it, and that's what it is. And every one of these guys that run in this group has a ton of dedication.
They no question they do. The people who run the racetracks, the people who run the sanctioning body, the people who run the race cars, all of these things, it definitely takes a group effort. And without all of us, and I can say us in that circle, in that wheel, this thing would not be the massive success it is. Seen around the world today on Speed Sport, live feeds, on our own YouTube channels, all of the things above, Tim. You are so much a part of that, being our longest running racer we've had. We've talked about it 2 or 3 times a day. Been with us basically from the start, never wavered, never stepped away, been here to support us every step of the way. Thank you, Tim, and congratulations on your win today here in Aiken, South Carolina.
Well, big thank you today, too, to the track operator, track owner. He let us use this building over here. We had 2 guys that had really bad trouble Friday night, and we worked all day in the rain in his building. But big thanks also to Tim Timmerman and Todd Fox, engine builder. These 2 guys did not give up, and we got it done.
Well, the old Corvette, the old alley cat, the old claws are long. She just keeps clawing right on through. Congratulations.
Thank you, brother. There you go.
All right, there comes your A-Gas finals for Carolina Dragway right here. Frequent flyer, Alan Galden, getting ready to go against Dean Jonas out of Mount Holly, North Carolina. There you see Jonas in the Agent Orange car taking the left lane versus the right lane in Alan Galden, the Swamp Monster. And the second finals in a row for Dean Jonas. Can he punch his ticket and get his first ever Southeast Gasser win here in his first year of competition? Christy Burchett getting him where he needs to be and ready to go as he goes ahead and lights the pre-stage. Both guys are pre-staged. Going to take on this Swamp Monster right here is Jonas. Good wheels up lead for Jonas. Dean Jonas powering his way through. Is it enough? Yes! Dean Jonas with the win here in A-Gas. His first ever win in Southeast Gassers for a competition. Start to finish right there, a complete win for Dean Jonas. There you see the tail of the tape right there at the Summit Stripe. What a great lead by both cars. James Bramlett knows he's got a runner right there. And Dean Jonas with the win. Arms in the air for Bramlett as he knows that they have put that car in victory lane for the first time ever. What a win right there for Dean Jonas in the Agent Orange. Getting congratulations from Jared Bailey, another winner here today.
Dean Jonas, congratulations, my friend. Aiken, South Carolina, Carolina Dragway, the House of Hook, and boy, did you ever take advantage of it. Number 1 qualifier from the start, winner at the end of the day. Dean Jonas, congratulations, son. You rocked the mountain. You done the unthinkable. You took out in the final round, not to mention the ones before, but in the final round, Alan Galden, stopping him from passing Kenneth Phillips in the points. As we said all day today, we both kind of called it early. I do believe Dean Jonas is going to be the spoiler that nobody factored.
Well, I was today, and I don't know what to say up here. I've never been here before. Y'all got to give me a pass on that one. But I almost considered myself beat, but I said I'm gonna give it my best shot, and I give it my best shot, and I come out on top.
From my viewpoint, Dean, your best shot was plenty sufficient. I don't really think these guys had a prayer today. Maybe it was your day. Maybe there's more days to come. That's how I see it. I know who you are. I know your background. I know your work. I know your dedication. I just think that these guys just inherited one fierce new competitor.
Well, I hope they did. And things is looking pretty good right here. As I said in the earlier interview, this is starting to get fun. It has got fun.
This is fun right here, no doubt about it. No question.
Fun right here. Yes, sir.
Well, again, Dean, congratulations, brother. You know the spoils of victory are yours. Cherish them, enjoy them. All I'm going to tell you to do, just prepare for one more race this season. I shudder to thought at what is going to happen next year when you come out with a full year in this car under your belt running like it was today.
Well, I'm going to be ready for next year. I was kind of on the fence at the first few races, made some changes. Things has been getting better ever since.
I think they're at the top. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And folks, as we leave Carolina Dragway, we would be remiss if we did not offer up our thanks to the good Lord above for a safe race today and for a beautiful weekend. Dear Lord, thank you so much for the beautiful rain you brought our way on Saturday. Even though it put a little bit of a damper on our Saturday racing, we give you praise and honor for the rain, Lord. And what a great day you gave us today. It's beautiful sunshine, great friends and fellowship, and incredible racing here in this town that we were in, Aiken, South Carolina. We thank you for all of the traveling mercies that you have given us, Lord, in getting us here safely. Hopefully it takes us home safely and all our friends and brings them back to us again as we go down the road in honor and glory of your name, Lord, because you are the true Savior who sent your Son to die for us. Lord, let us be a light into this world that we live in to shine your love to all that we come into contact with. For it is in your name we pray. Amen.